Going on, everyone? John Matrix here. Hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful day wherever you're at and whenever you're watching this. Today we're going to be jumping back in the SCP universe. We're doing a little bit of follow-up as we've gone through the Cactus verse and finished up with that. The Scarlet-King was brought up in one of the last videos with the Demon Ogier. And so I kind of want to do a follow-up with a little bit more information about the Scarlet-King, as well as, you know, I guess his 7 wives, who are potentially 7 seals that if certain things happen could release them back into the world, kind of a situation. So we're going to be taking a look at SCP-231 Special Personnel Requirements Object Class Keter K-Class Scenario by the Vulcan. Links will be down below in the description to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to the Vulcan's channel. Please do me a favor, go over there and click those links if you enjoy this video. When we go through it, give it a like, and if you're not already subscribed to the Vulcan, please go over there and give him a sub if you enjoy the man's content. He makes a lot of great content for the SCP universe, a lot of really well voice acted and interesting videos on the SCP articles. So man puts a lot of effort into his stuff. You should definitely go over there and give some love. If you'd like to join us when we do these reactions live, there is a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership tiers and benefits that I offer. Take a look at those, see if none of them have any interest for you. You can get early access videos, priority, and any kind of requests you might have for me to do reactions, members Discord channel, etc., etc. So take a look at it, see if you have any interest in taking your support to the next level. With all that said, let's jump into this video here. So again, this is the Vulcan going into SCP-231 Special Personnel Requirements Object Class Keter A-Class Scenario. Bada boom, bada bing.
Hello.
This is really quiet.
My name is not important. I represent the Ethics Committee.
This is a rather quiet video.
7 rings, 7 brides for the Scarlet-King.
The item that we are going to be...
Hope you guys can hear this. I can't really up the volume much more. I have the volume maxed here, and I've got everything maxed on OBS. I guess I could potentially boost this a little bit, but it's even kind of quiet for me here. So I guess just try to pump the volume as much as you can. Anyway, let's continue.
Studying today is SCP-231.
They gather round the natal bed, the foolish and the wise. They fear the child yet to be born, whose voice shall rend the skies.
Interesting.
Object Class Keter.
The faithful watch the forest for the coming of the king. Their lanterns bright, they wait at night for the new world he shall bring.
Almost like a fairy tale kind of nursery rhyme almost about the Scarlet-King. It's fascinating.
Site and personnel requirements. Under Special Order of 05, the following addendum is attached to the beginning of the file for SCP-231-7.
The dragon waits in shadows. His breath will scorch the land. The hero in the castle draws his sword and makes his stand.
All personnel assigned to SCP-231-7 must rotate out for 1 month of psychological counseling after 2 months on site. SCP-231-7 is to be kept at an undisclosed location. All personnel assigned to SCP-231 will be transported there blindfolded from Site-19 by a route including no fewer than 7 different forms of transportation.
Interesting.
Including, but not limited to, aircraft, automobile, underground tunnel, and removal of blindfold during the transport process is grounds for immediate termination.
I wonder what that blocked out means of travel would be. Teleportation or something?
The princess in the tower is hidden far away, but nothing under heaven can keep the groom at bay.
Personnel assigned to SCP-231-7 must undergo heavy psychological testing before being cleared to enter the site. Individuals must score at least 72 points on the Milgram Obedience Examination, be unmarried, have no offspring, and express nothing less than total loyalty to the Foundation.
Damn.
Normal psychological screening procedures against Axis 2 disorders are waived, so long as the Class D personnel in question has the mental capacity to carry out Procedure 110 Montauk as needed.
I think that's been mentioned in another video, but I don't remember what it is. 110 Montauk. That's been, I swear I've heard that before, and someone I think explained it in the comments, or one of my members did, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Personnel who express sympathy towards SCP-231-7's plight and or express a desire to rescue.
Maybe that's what the ritual is that they are having to do that is containing the seal. Because I remember in one of the videos they're talking about, like, it's the last woman, the last of his wives, is like pregnant with like the actual Scarlet-King potentially. I don't know. She's pregnant with something. She's like the last seal, and they're having to do some kind of ritual to keep the seal appeased and from the Scarlet-King coming into our reality. And so, like, it was explained in a lot of different ways that it could just be the act of doing some kind of ritual that in and of itself is keeping it locked up, and that the ritual isn't necessarily crazy. Other things are saying that the ritual is some kind of like crazy sacrifice thing that they're having to do in order to appease it. Other things were like some kind of reading of a book. So I wonder if that's what this like fairy tale he's going through is like him having to read this as part of the ritual. I would assume it's not, though, because it's going red. So I wonder if this is like supposed to be an actual communication from like the Scarlet-King coming through here as we're viewing this. But anyway, let's continue.
Or sympathize towards SCP-231-7 will be transferred to another project without delay. Any actual rescue attempts will be met with immediate termination.
Yeah, so 231-7, I'm assuming, is that seventh
staff of SCP-231-7's containment team are not required to divulge information to others. No official record shall be kept of the names of any staff assigned to SCP-231-7, nor will said service appear in the personnel files of said staff.
They gather round with leering smiles, the soulless and the dead. Though her soul unwinds, the cruelest minds will keep her in her bed.
While on site, individuals assigned to 231-7 will be issued concealing helmets with integrated voice changes to protect their identity. On-site staff are not to remove said uniforms in the presence of other staff members. Off-duty hours are to be spent in private quarters alone. 6 D-Class personnel are to be assigned to SCP-231-7 each month for the purposes of carrying out Procedure 110 Montauk. Violent criminals are not to be used for this purpose due to the possibility of accidental fatality during the 110 Montauk process. Special containment procedures. Following repeated escape and suicide attempts, and based on the failure of containment for SCP-231-1 through 6, containment of SCP-231-7 has been amended to the following. SCP-231 is to be contained within a soundproof holding cell, adjacent to holding cells for 6 Class D personnel assigned for the purposes of Procedure 110 Montauk.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I think that is the case. I think 110 Montauk is like the actual ritual that they're having to do to keep this seal in place.
Cameras will monitor every inch of the cell at all times and must be manned 24 hours a day. Malfunctioning monitoring equipment will be replaced without delay by psychologically screened staff. Doors will be magnetically locked, openable only by positive action by the control and monitoring facility. This includes all doors linking the main holding cell to those of 6 Class D personnel. SCP-231-7 is to be kept restrained to a hospital bed at all times, except for the purposes of Procedure 110 Montauk. Hydration will be provided through IV drip. Feeding will be carried out twice a day through feeding tube approved by medical personnel who have not...
That's a shitty existence, man. And so, like, the other thing, too, is I wonder how willing, like, is this person in this... I don't know, it's not like... Like, is this person, the SCP-231-7, are they willingly, are like actively seeking to try to release the Scarlet-King? Or is this just like they're an innocent in this situation? You know what I'm saying? Because like, if it's a situation where they're actively like seeking the release of the Scarlet-King, then okay, I understand this treatment. It could be warranted and justified. But man, it sucks if they're just an innocent person that just happens to be, you know, caught up in this for whatever reason. They were born the wrong place, wrong time, wrong person, or whatever, and they just happen to be marked as this seal for the Scarlet-King, and so now you're just your existence is being strapped down to a medical cot and IV dripped water and force fed food through a tube. Like, that's shitty.
Taken the Hippocratic Oath. Under no circumstances are narcotics, anesthesia, or other unapproved medications to be administered to SCP-231-7.
Damn.
The potter told his prentice to prepare him 7 jars. 6 he made with grace and skill. The last his hands did mar.
Procedure 110 Montauk is to be carried out at least once every 24 hours by Class D personnel.
Yeah.
During Procedure 110 Montauk, at least one Security Clearance 4 231 staff member must monitor the procedure by camera at all times, although the sound may be turned off if the vocalizations of SCP-231-7 become too distressing. Following the procedure, all Class D personnel must return to their holding cells or explosive collars will be detonated.
Explosive collars.
The moon no more is howling. Gone. Its morning black. In their dreams, its face is prowling. Come to take them back.
Data expunge Porter row 5 on blah blah blah. Information moved to eyes only document blah blah blah. I assume this voice is going to read this, but just in case.
Per order of row 5 redacted unredacted. Information moved to eyes only document 231-110 Mondoc. Access to 231-110 Mondoc is limited to personnel with security clearance 4/231.
Description: SCP-231-7 is a female between 8 and 10 years of age with...
The king is in his courting clothes. The brides are in their beds. The unborn princes wait in sleep to raise their eager heads.
SCP-231-1 through 7 were retrieved from following a police raid on a warehouse owned by an organization called the Children of the Scarlet-King. See article in the newspaper, Police Raid Satanic Sex Cult, Save 7. 24 hours after the rescue. SCP-231-1, real name.
Hold on. There's 7 the font. So they seem to be just victims in some kind of cult trying to release them. They lost 231 1 through 6, but they managed to actually get a hold of 7 before the ritual, I guess, was completed. And so now they're having to do this 110 Montauk, I guess probably as a replacement ritual to keep him sealed, I think is what's going on. Following police raid on warehouse owned by an organization called the Children of the Scarlet-King. See article, blah, blah, blah. Newspaper police raided. Okay.
Went into labor pains, giving birth 3 minutes later to SCP, causing a event resulting in confirmed casualties.
Yikes.
Foundation
I wonder where that was
personnel
682.
immediately took possession of remaining SCPs 231-2 through to 231-7, and based on notebooks recovered from the cult, instituted Procedure 110 Montauk to prevent future occurrences.
The hens were in the hen house, and 7 eggs did lay, till the fox crept in by dark of night, and stole the eggs away.
Addendum 231-A, current status of SCP-231 units.
6 were broken by their bindings, 6 no more shall sing. Comes the 7th full unwinding, and all the bells will ring.
SCP-231-1, deceased, killed during initial recovery operations while giving birth to SCP. See casualty report for Event 231 Alpha for more details.
When the first had given birth, then all the birds did sing. Her screaming cries did shake the skies, as she called out for her king.
This is a creepy ass fucking fairy tale here.
Killed during attempt to remove fetus of second SCP specimen, resulting in immediate event. See casualty report for Event 231 Bravo for more details.
By Doctor's blade, the second bade a life into the world. Untimely hewn, neath a silent moon, the king's red flag unfurled.
SCP-231-3, deceased, self-terminated. Following a prolonged period of distress caused by implementation of Procedure 110 Montauk. SCP immediately underwent an event. See casualty report for Event 231.
Some of the stuff that's blanked out, I wish we could really see, because I would really like to know specifically some of the things going on. I guess that's also part of the intrigue, you know, and allowing you to kind of interpret for yourself some of the things that happen. But anyway.
Charlie for more details.
His bride, the third, remained unheard, her cries for help ignored. She stopped her life with a surgeon's knife and gave it to our Lord.
SCP-231-4, deceased. Attempted to administer SCP-500, although successful in that all traces of SCP were expelled from the system, expelled remains immediately underwent event, causing numerous casualties including SCP-231-4 herself. See casualty report for Event 231 Delta for more details.
The fourth prepares a dagger and places it at her heart. The perfect cure cannot make pure what the king has set apart.
SCP-231-5, deceased. Botched application of Procedure 110 Montauk resulted in SCP-231-5 giving birth to SCP 1 hour later, which then underwent event. See casualty report for Event 231 Echo and report on destruction of Site-231 Aleph. For more details, recruitment profile of Class D personnel was revised to minimize possibility of a second botched procedure 110 Montauk.
The fifth one's crown was bearing down upon the fox's set. That then was sundered with a mighty thunder. An apocalypse beget.
SCP-231-6, deceased. Killed. During escape attempt aided and abetted by Agent who had been exhibiting heightened stress levels due to prolonged exposure to SCP-231. Obtained possession of SCP and attempted to use said weapon to rescue SCP-231-6 and 231-7. Agent was killed in the resulting firefight, but a stray round resulted in the termination of SCP-231-6 as well.
Yeah, we're getting, obviously,
SCP
the events of what happened to all these.
In the wake of this.
I wonder, like, I don't know, I was going to say, like, if the cult that started all this knew this was going to happen, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I don't know. My brain was just going like, is this a situation where like the cult that began this knew that it was going to happen and they wanted things to happen in a certain way? And like, is this part of like a predetermined plan by the Scarlet-King kind of a situation? You know what I mean? And like, is it almost like is he like, in a way, testing the resolve of the SCP Foundation with these events and what they're willing to do to go through to like keep him sealed or something? I don't know. That's just where my brain went with like going through and reading or listening to all this. But anyway.
This incident, O5 personnel voted by unanimous decision to amend personnel policies. See casualty report for Event 231 Foxtrot for more details.
On the sixth day, the walls gave way, and the oceans turned to ash. Her birth gave work, as the earth shook underneath the king's fell lash.
SCP-231-7. As of...
So, and I mean, again, this might not have any actual real connection with anything that happened in the Cactus verse, but, you know, in the Cactus verse, what we learned of the Scarlet-King, or what I learned anyway, was that there's essentially like two parts of him. That originally his spirit and his body were like separated and he became diminished because of which, and his body was then like sealed away underground in this tomb, and then was released, and the Demon Ogier had to fight it and reseal it, you know, etc., etc. So, like, is this a situation where this ritual that's going through here is to break the seal holding back his spirit, and then his spirit could reunite with its body, giving him back his full power kind of situation? Or is this just like a completely separate thing? I have a feeling that this is like a completely separate thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to like think in my mind, if it is connected, you know, what is the situation if that is what's happening here? Because in the story, there wasn't really anything. It was really just like Relevine, you know, that the wizard, and I guess potentially one of his wives down there that were kind of keeping the body sealed, and eventually it you know, it was able to overpower those seals and then needed to be recontained. And so it didn't have anything to do with this, but there was mention in the tale of 7 wives, and they would return, and one day their seals would be broken, and he would take his revenge upon the world. So that's what's leading me to wonder if this essentially was what he was talking about. The 7 wives are the seals holding his spirit back, and if his spirit is to actually, you know, re-enter this reality, he could merge back with his body and regain its full power.
SCP-231-7 is successfully contained at Site.
7th bride will break the tides, the moon no more will shine. There comes a day not far away, she'll birth the death of time.
Birth the death of time, that's a hell of a line, dude.
This is a recording of a missive by O5.
Dear friends, it has come to my attention that recently certain rumors have surfaced regarding SCP-231. Due to a drop in staff morale, I have decided to address some of the more prevalent points. Yes, Procedure 110 Montauk is as horrible as you've heard, which is why only Class D personnel are authorized to carry it out. Yes, it does involve brutal. No, assignment to SCP-231 is not intended to test your loyalty to the Foundation, your tendencies toward, or anything else. No, SCP-231 is not a punishment detail. Yes, there are staff members who have been on SCP-231 and have successfully transferred out by their own request. No, not everyone who's worked on SCP-231 is terminated upon leaving the project.
I feel like that's the meme of Bart Simpson there, with like, that's an odd thing to say, because that sounds like an odd thing to say. We're like, no, not everyone who is, and it's like, not everyone, right? That's kind of like the suspect verbiage there. Not everyone has been terminated upon leaving. It's like, well, some people definitely have then. I don't know. That's just kind of weird and would not give me a whole lot of confidence if I had to work this detail.
Yes, staff members who have been assigned to SCP-231 are allowed to take Class A amnesics before leaving the project if so desired. Yes, false memories are then implanted. No, none of the supposed methods for recovering or detecting false memories work. Yes, there are some of you who worked on SCP-231 and don't remember it. No, we have not given up trying to save SCP-231-7, but research in that field must be carried out with the utmost of caution.
Like, I feel like that's a huge understatement. Like, the utmost of caution, because, like, one misstep, it's the same thing kind of like with the deer almost, you know? Like, one little misstep in the ritual, deer gets loose and could potentially end the world. Same thing here. One little misstep in the ritual of the sealing and the Scarlet-King gets released and we're done. And there's like, doesn't seem to be any coming back from that.
Based on the increased potency of each subsequent event associated with each subsequent SCP specimen, there is a strong possibility that SCP-231-7 event could result in an XK class end of the world scenario. This information is corroborated in notebooks recovered from the cultists. See document 7 Brides, 7 Seals, SCP-231 Adjunct B. No, putting the girl out of her misery is not an option. Neither is drugging her. She has to be aware of what is going on for 110 Montauk to work. One final note. The Foundation does many distasteful things in the completion of our mission, but our mission is important enough that the price is one we must pay. Containment of SCP-231 is one of our most dangerous duties, not because of any direct danger to ourselves, but because of the danger that our resolve will fail, that we will allow ourselves to either let down our guard due to our sympathy for the suffering of an innocent, or that we will allow ourselves to become monsters through the performance of monstrous acts.
That answers the question. She is an innocent in this situation. She just happened to be wrong place, wrong time. I guess was probably kidnapped by whatever this, cult was, and was used in this ritual, and now is suffering the consequences. That sucks.
Just do your jobs and save the philosophizing for the shrink.
Philosophizers.
Yours sincerely, 05. Exactly what they want. Exactly when they have it.
What?
Your jobs and save the philosophizing for the shrink. Yours sincerely, 05. Won't believe it when they say they're trying to save her. Why would they bother?
Of course.
Exactly what they want. Yours sincerely, 05.
I won't believe it when I see they're trying to save her.
Why would they bother?
Why would they bother?
They've got exactly what they want.
They have exactly what they want.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When they have it.
When they have it. I don't know.
Addendum 231C.
Creepy.
Update. 231-7's emotional response to Procedure 110 Montauk appears to be reduced recently, despite proper execution of said procedure, increasing danger of SCP undergoing.
So I think the issue, from what I understand, again, from a previous video on this, is whatever ritual they're having to do is supposed to be something that creates a sense of, dread and fear or something in the woman giving the birth that then, represses the birthing process, I think, which I think is the seal. So, they keep having to escalate what they're doing because, she keeps getting essentially desensitized to what's going on. And in so doing, would be allowing the seal to be broken kind of situation, if I remember correctly. So, as time progresses, they have to keep doing more and more, grotesque and crazy shit to keep this seal from breaking, if I'm correct. I could be mistaken.
Event. Two options have been proposed. Number 1, development of a new containment procedure with higher emotional response than Procedure 110 Montauk. Number 2, administration of a Class A amnestic to SCP-231-7, allowing for a return to base emotional response state.
I feel like number 2 would probably be the better way to go, right? Because, instead of having to escalate what you keep having to do, you could essentially repeat something that works, wipe her memory, and then do it again. But I guess the question is, is it her having to remember it and being put in the state that's containing it? Or is it just the act of having to increase the grotesqueness or the seriousness of the ritual that in and of itself is what is keeping it sealed?
Memory modification is to be administered during execution of Procedure 110 Montauk to maintain heightened emotional state following memory reset. Please advise.
The Doctor never tells his god which one he really seeks. Instead, he hides himself away, and quietly he weeps.
Doctor. Addendum 231D. Decision. Carry out Option 2 at the first available opportunity.
Their god's own voice, he makes the choice, declaring with their word, in fear and pain, let her remain, lest she be like the third.
05. Addendum 231E. Aftermath. Option 2 was carried out. SCP-231-7's emotional state returned to 100% efficacy. Dr. Subsequently,
Sounds like it's working then.
due to heightened emotional stress. Will continue analysis of efficacy of treatment.
The doctor's gun ended his run as he put it to his ear. As she was defiled, the pitied child, he gave it to his fear.
Dr. Addendum 231F. Continued analysis of efficacy of treatment. After some analysis, I have determined that it is not necessary to perform memory modification every time Procedure 110 Montauk is carried out.
Okay.
In fact, it is better to delay for some time before re-administering the agent. Analysis of Subject 231-7's emotional response indicates that efficacy of Procedure 110 Montauk seems to peak between the third and fourth performance of the procedure.
Interesting.
Dread of anticipation for the event seems to heighten emotional
Gotcha.
response for a time.
So after seeing it so many times, and yeah, the emotional response of it, the anxiety leading up to having to deal with watching it essentially is increased. Okay.
Before familiarity with the procedure begins to lessen the efficacy of the treatment.
Yeah, before she
My
gets
recommendation is
desensitized.
that Class A amnestics be administered once a week during Procedure 110 Montauk. The calendar has been modified accordingly.
Her memory a fickle thing, the strongest shall endure. When her weeping starts to waver, the drugs make her mind pure.
Doctor.
Dude, the like fairy tale reading part
Thank
of
you
it,
very
that
much for your attention. You are dismissed.
that was like super creepy. I liked that little addition to it. So yeah, that was SCP-231 Special Personal Requirements Object Class Keter K Class Scenario by the Vulcan. Links down below in the description as always to the original video without my commentary and reaction and to the Vulcan's channel. Please do me a favor, click those links if you enjoyed this video as we went through it, give it a like. If you enjoy the Vulcan's content, please do me the favor of giving the man a subscription if you are not already subscribed to him. So yeah, I mean, this was, I've done a video by the Exploring series on the Scarlet-King already, and this was just kind of a more in-depth overview version of the Scarlet-King and the various things that happen to his wives, aka the SEALs, and also I guess the subsequent birth of the various SCPs. I'm pretty sure 682 is one of them, from what I remember from the Exploring series. I don't really remember what the other ones were. I think 1 or 2 were explained and the others were left vague. So I don't remember what the other offspring were. I think 682 is the most famous of them, I believe, as far as things go. If you guys know what the other SCPs are that were the Scarlet-King's offspring, let me know down in the comments. And if there are any videos, I would assume there are, covered by them, because I would like to learn more about them as well and see what they're about. But yeah, great video as always. And it went into, I guess, more depth and detail about what the procedure actually is that they have to go through here, and it does seem to indicate that, you know, the woman wasn't innocent, that looks like she got grabbed by the Scarlet-King cult, was caught up in this ritual, and now is having to suffer this shitty existence. She's like almost, from what I understand, almost kind of in like a perpetual birthing cycle kind of thing, that they're able to essentially, you know, stall out doing this 110 Montauk procedure. And apparently it's something so like gruesome that her fear and anxiety at having to watch this is keeping the birthing process from happening, thus containing the seal. And eventually, you know, they've gotten to the point of, after so many attempts, they gotta wipe her memory because she gets desensitized. So, and you know, like, that's just a shitty existence. I mean, like, think about that. Think about your life is being strapped to like a medical cot, being fed through tubes and you know, kept hydrated by IV, you know, who knows, like no one in the SCP world probably wants to go anywhere near this person for fear of messing something up. Obviously there's going to be people who are going to sympathize because she is an innocent person stuck in this and will want to help her, but what can they really do without essentially dooming the world, potentially, you know? And yeah, like, just think about your existence. Like, you have no freedom to do anything. You have to witness these gruesome events. Like, that's just, yeah, that's rough. And it makes me wonder, like, couldn't they essentially just like what would happen if they put her in like a medical like coma, right? You know, would that essentially, could that be something that they could do? I mean, I would assume they've probably like, what's the word I'm looking for? Pursued these courses of action, you know, like I would assume they've probably tried to put her in some kind of medical coma, or potentially had, if she is in this perpetual birthing thing, tried to give her some kind of medically induced, you know, abortion to destroy the fetus or something. But I mean, it is an SCP anomaly, so who the fuck knows if that is something that you could even do, you know? But I would assume they've tried to pursue other avenues and failed, and so this is the only thing they've been able to do, you know. But that's rough. That's rough. But yeah, great video as always by the Vulcan. Like I said, links down below, down in the description. If you'd like to join us when I do these reactions live, there is a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer. Take a look at those if you decide you want to take your support to the channel to the next level. You can get early access to videos. You can get priority in any kind of requests you might want me to do reactions to. There is a members/sub Discord channel, etc., etc. So yeah, take a look at those. See if you want to, you know, sign up. Thank you very much for doing so. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like and a sub. It helps me and helps the channel grow. And hope you're having yourselves a wonderful day wherever you're at and whenever you're watching this. And thanks for doing so. See you guys in the next one.